Hello everybody, this is Azel the Basement Dweller here, back with another tier list video. So, the last tier list video I posted was apparently very divisive when it came to the community. Some people agreed with my tier list a lot for Guilty Gear Strive, a lot of people didn't. As I said, as long as people are being respectful, I don't really care. There were a few comments on the Guilty Gear video that I was a bit sad to see. For example, there was a comment that was like, as soon as I saw Giovanna in low tier, I clicked off the video because anybody who plays the game knows that this is bullshit. Again, as I said, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but don't downplay anybody else's opinion. You know, because that's what you think. You know, nobody's right. It's a fighting game, you know? Like, there are decisive top tiers in Guilty Gear, but I feel like Giovanna is not one of them. But with that out of the way, we're not talking about Guilty Gear anymore. We're talking about Skullgirls. So, Skullgirls, much like the case in Guilty Gear, I do not feel like there is B tier, or like a low tier in this game. Every character in this game is designed incredibly well. It's a modern fighting game. There aren't a lot of terrible characters in this game. I don't actually think there's a single terrible character. There are characters that are meh, but there's nobody who's terrible. Like, every character's playable on a solo. Like, you can play each of these characters by themselves and do okay. So, oh, and I also have to, forgot to do this, but I have to add fucking Umbrella tier, because she's not even in the game yet. Oh my god, Umbrella. Doink. Alright, so obviously Umbrella goes in Umbrella tier, but we're gonna start off with same disclaimers last time. This is my opinion as somebody who's played 800 hours of Skullgirls. This is my opinion as a one-time tournament winner, 6-time tournament participant, and general casual player of Skullgirls. So we're going to do it in alphabetical order like last time, because that's the way it's sorted. First up, Annie. I've said this before. I believe Annie is one of, if not the best character in Skullgirls. Her kit is incredibly complimentary. She's very similar to Soul from Guilty Gear, actually. Like, very similar, because that's who she's inspired off of. She hurts. She does a lot of damage. She has really good corner carry and combo damage, regardless of screen positioning. She has a lot of ways to spend meter, which a lot of characters in this game don't. She has a very easy touch of death compared to other characters, and a very easy happy birthday combo. And she works incredibly well with assists and as an assist. So, I feel like this is a perfect example of what a Skullgirls character is. She's very mobile. She doesn't have a double jump, but she has an air dash and a sprint. So, I feel like Annie is... I don't think many people are going to disagree with this. Annie is a very good character. Next up, Beowulf. Beowulf is a grappler. Now, this is the issue with grapplers in most games. This is why whenever you see me make a tier list, grapplers are typically going to be low tier, because grapplers have the same problems, or the same base problems in every game, and then each game has a different way of tackling those problems. But a grappler's main problem is, throws are slow, and it's a guessing game. Beowulf is not a bad character, but he is a grappler, and his game plan revolves around grabbing the opponent and building hype. If you can't build hype, your grabs don't do that much damage, and if you have a lot of hype and you can't land a grab, at least before this most recent patch, he had nothing. Now he has EX Wolf Blitzer and EX Chair Recall to spend hype without grabbing, which is cool. But I feel like he's a solid top of A tier character, you know? He's a grappler, but he's not even the best grappler in the game. So, he has pretty decent buttons. His chairless buttons are okay. His jump heavy punch out of chair is pretty good. His crouching heavy kick and heavy punch outside of chair are horrendous, unless you're using them for anti-airs or projectile punishes. Yeah, Beowulf, he belongs down here. He does a lot of damage, but which character in Skullgirls doesn't when you really think about it? Yeah. Big Band. Big Band is S tier. I feel like Big Band is top of S tier because he does a lot of damage. His big height doesn't matter because his big height translates to gigantic normals. Half of his kit just launches. Incredibly good aerials, incredibly long-range pokes. Brass Knuckle is incredibly good special move. Light Brass Knuckle is a unpunishable on-block advancing move unless they jump over it. And then the other A-Trains, obviously, they're punishable on block, but they're armored, so you can counter zone with them. He also has the parry, which is a unique mechanic to him. Parry in Skullgirls is kind of huge, because advancing without taking damage and gaining meter is a big advantage. Especially when a lot of the high-tier characters in this game are zoners, or characters with very strong projectiles. Not to spoil anything, but characters like Fukua and Peacock, where they have a very oppressive game, ground game, that Big Band can nullify with Brass Knuckle and Parry. He is very good at counter zoning. His downside is his upside. It's his size and his speed. His walk speed is very bad. And him being gigantic, you get hit with some combos that no other characters can get hit by. Other than like Eliza, because she's super tall. He hurts. Big Band hurts. If you get reset by a Big Band, it takes like 3 hits to death. So this is a character that you don't fuck around with very often, you know? Cerebella. Cerebella's S tier. Cerebella, again, is one of the best characters in the game. She is what Beowulf is, but objectively better. She's a grappler with much better buttons, multiple command grabs, an anti-air grab, a very good command grab assist. She's pretty much just Beowulf times 10. She's objectively better Beowulf. The only thing that she doesn't have that Beowulf has is Wolf Blitzer. And she doesn't need that because she has her run stance, which is a cross-up, a command grab, or a pressure tool, or a chip kill tool. So, pretty good trade-off if you ask me. Cerebella does a lot of damage, probably the second highest damage output in the game to Big Band in terms of just raw buttons. Like, getting hit by a forward heavy punch by Cerebella, like counter hit, that shit does like 2,000 damage on its own. That's a lot of damage. So, I feel like Cerebella deserves an S+ tier spot. She hurts. Double. Double is a weird one for me. This is going to be where I lose some people. I feel like Double is top of S tier. She's right next to Big Band, but for different reasons. Double actually doesn't hurt that much by herself. Double by herself, because typically we're grading the characters by themselves, and then like the assists are a side note. Double is the opposite grading. She's kind of bad by herself, but with assists, or as an assist, Double is one of the best characters in the game. Because she's bad by herself, she cannot be S+ tier, because the character has to be kind of good by themselves. But when you have her on a team, her assists are incredibly oppressive, and her with assists is one of the scariest characters in the game. Because then you have to eat the four directional cross up, high low, or the six-way cross up, high low, top bottom, front or back. You have to eat the 6 directional cross up. Her level 2 Catalyte Lives, that super is fucking stupid. Incredibly strong chip kill and pressure option. Anything unsafe she does, she can cancel into Catalyte, and you have to hold that. Her level 1 is a mix-up because she can change which direction it comes from. It can either cross up or hit head-on. So it's actually not that bad for a wake-up. It's a guessing game, which is pretty interesting. But she's a menace. She's a menace. She's just not very good by herself. Eliza. Eliza is an S tier character, or an S+ tier character. Eliza hurts. She has very good meter build. The changes to Sekhmet have done nothing but make Eliza better. She has an entirely new super. She's a bit more of a glass cannon archetype now, because Sekhmet costs health, but she can also regenerate health when she's in Sekhmet. Incredibly high combo damage, incredibly big hitboxes, with relatively hard to punish hurt boxes. Very good supers. Really good throw game. Very good mix-ups with assists. And very high combo damage with Osiris Spiral and her level 3 and Sekhmet. She has a lot of options that make her hurt a lot. Like, Eliza is terrifying. Very good by herself, much better with assists. Filia. Filia is pretty bad. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with this. Again, this is going to be like the double pick. Yeah, people are going to say that Filia should be in like S tier because like, oh, every pro player plays Filia. That's true, but that's because Filia, for the amount you have to learn to play Filia, you can learn any of these 3 characters and do better than Filia. Filia players, you have to put so much time into learning this character for her to get good, because Filia at low level, and even mid level, is very easy to fuck with, because her options are very limited. Once you get to high level, you know, that's when you get your dash cancels and your micro dashes and shit. That's when she gets a little scary, but you have to do a lot of learning for that. So I feel like Filia, she's okay. Like, she's got an okay DP that's very punishable. Her level 3 is a pretty good super. Gregor Samson is a very good super. You know what, we'll put her at the bottom of S tier, actually. Because I still think she's better than Beowulf. She does less overall damage than Beowulf, but her reset potential and mix-up potential make her better. In direct contrast to Fukua, Fukua is an S+ tier character. Fukua does incredibly good damage, is a setup character with a projectile, multiple projectiles because she has her clones. She has high-low, no. Why did it do that? I don't know why I did that. Excuse that. I don't know why the ad chose to unmute itself. But yeah, Fukua has a projectile, very good supers, overhead low command grab mix-ups. She has really good, her DP is the drill of my dreams. Alright, no, that's the super. It's a platonic relationship. One of those two is the super, and one of those is the DP. But it's got a lot of invincibility. It hurts, and she can super cancel it, and that shit hurts. She has a level 5, which I haven't been factoring thus far, because these three characters, Big Band, Double, and Fukua, all have level 5s. So technically, Annie does too. Her level 5 is a command grab that resets scaling. It's not that good, but it's funny to have. And having a level 5 is good. Like, Big Band's level 5 is actually really good. Double's level 5, you don't see it very often because her level 2 is so good, but if you do see it, typically the enemy loses because it's a lot of chip damage to eat. Fukua is a very good character. Her combo game, all of her normals are just Filia's normals, but sped up. So they have very similar game plans, except she has a projectile and a better DP and clones. She's just like Fukua with different special moves, or Filia with different special moves. Miss Fortune to me is right above Filia. She is the better mix-up character because of the head. Miss Fortune can remove her head, playing much like a doll character. She can control two characters at once technically, her head and then her. She gets new normals when she doesn't have her head, and a lot of her properties change, and a lot of her supers change. She gets near unblockable setups without her head, and she hurts. Miss Fortune's mix-ups do a lot of damage. This is a character where if you get reset, much like Big Band, you're gonna die in like 2 hits. She hurts. She hurts a lot. Her meter build is pretty decent. She has a pretty good DP. She has very good mobility. She has a dash that low profiles. She has an air dash and a double jump, making her the most mobile character in the game, next to Valentine. Although I would argue that they have pretty much the same mobility, because both of their jump medium kicks give them lateral movement. So, but yeah, I feel like Miss Fortune is the better mix-up character than Filia. Painwheel is down here with Beowulf. You do not see a lot of Painwheel players because she is incredibly hard to play. I've said it before, I think, in my opinion, Painwheel's like a sleeper top tier. However, if I'm being totally honest, because I haven't fought that many Painwheels, and the Painwheels I have fought don't typically know how to play the character very well, unless I fought in tournaments, Parasoul, or Painwheel, is a very low tier character. She is a super armor character. The best thing in her kit is the unique thing about her kit, which is Flight Cancel. Flight Hazard is an incredibly strong tool, but much like Filia, you have to do a lot of learning before that gets good. Other than that, you're playing an incredibly slow character whose gimmick is her super armor, and she only gets super armor when she's charging. You can grab her. She might actually be worse than Beowulf, because Beowulf hard counters Painwheel in a lot of ways. I feel like Painwheel is one of the weaker characters in this game. because you have to do a lot of learning, and then once you get done with learning, I feel like at best she's like up here. Parasoul. Parasoul is right up here. Parasoul is a charge zoner, much like Guile, but without flash kick. She has a charge projectile, she has a charge DP. She has a charge back move with her kick called the Egret Call. Depending on which strength of Egret Call you do, you get one of 3 moves. The light one is the Egret Cancel, which is incredibly strong. You can cancel the recovery of moves into the Egret Cancel and continue combos. The medium one is Egret Shield, where an Egret jumps out in front of you, and as long as they are in the air, they have infinite super armor. It is incredibly good against zoners like Peacock. And Egret Motorcade, which a Egret will drive across the screen and hit grab the opponent. If they hit the opponent, they will drag them to the corner, and then they will bounce out of the corner, giving her a free knockdown to work with. She's incredibly good with assists. She's pretty good by herself because of her high damage output. Parasoul is scary, because you get hit twice by Parasoul, you're dead. She has very strong mix-ups. Very strong mix-ups with high damage and very hard to block mix-ups, because she has like 3 overheads and the overlow. She has a move that looks like her overhead that hits low. Very hard to block against and very strong. Peacock. Peacock is S tier. Peacock is very S tier. Peacock is a menace. Very high combo damage. The best zoner in the game, bar Robo-Fortune. Shockingly high damage for a zoner. Very good setup. She has a grab super that does a lot of damage. She also has a super loop, which is something that not a lot of characters have. For 4 bars of meter, you can get 8,000 free damage. That's unburstable and unavoidable if they do not take the first hit. Which is a little scary. That's a lot of damage to not be able to burst out of. She also has a teleport. She has bombs that walk across the screen at different speeds and different angles. Her level 1 is a bullet hell super. It is incredibly hard to parry even as Big Band. You have to know the super because it's like 38 hits. It's pretty much unpunishable from full screen. Unless you're already mid-attack when they do the super and then you'll trade. She has a teleport that she can cancel into a bomb toss. So she can feint her teleport. She has a DP that is incredibly long range. It got nerfed and I was very happy about it. And then it got reworked so that it's back to the way it was before the nerf. It got reverted. Peacock is incredibly strong. Anybody who downplays Peacock is a Peacock player, because Peacock is incredibly strong. She does have some very bad matchups. Big Band is a pretty bad matchup for her, but her good matchups are unwinnable for the people. Like they're like 9-1 matchups in her favor. Robo-Fortune. Robo-Fortune is like right here. With all the changes Robo-Fortune's got recently, she's actually really good. They reworked her, what is it, Not a Machine super, her level 3, to make it a better install. It's an install super that changes your mobility to speed other than air mobility. You lose your double jump, but you gain an air dash and your movement speed increases. All your lasers do more damage and have a secondary property, but you're only in this form for 10 seconds, up to a max of 18, for which you have to spend head drones, which are a unique resource. Her she does not have a sweep, she has head drone setup. You spend 1 head drone for, I believe, 4 seconds or something, or like some shit like that. You get a decent amount of time for each head drone, and it costs health to use a head drone to extend the timer. Her head drones, outside of extending her install super, are part of her projectile game. Light head drone call, you shoot one out as a missile. Medium head drone call, you stick it into the ground, it becomes a mine. And heavy head drone call, however many head drones you have, open up at the top. A reticule spawns under the enemy character, and in approximately a full second after that, much like Sector from Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, missiles will fall from the sky and land at their location. Very decent combo damage, very good super. She has a very high meter gain, which is why she's this high. She is a very good character. I'm actually going to put her above Parasoul, because I think Parasoul is scarier, or Robo-Fortune is scarier than Parasoul. Very good character. Squigly. Squigly. Squigly, for a character who's not a zoner, is very high on this list. Squigly is a learning curve character, much like Filia or Painwheel, but in a much lower regard. Instead of having to learn about movement or a unique mechanic, or, well, it is a unique mechanic. Instead of having to learn about movement, you're learning about her unique mechanic, which is Saria cancels. She has 2 stances, the Saria stance and then the kick stance. I believe they're both called Saria stance, but I could be wrong about that. Basically, the cancel works the same way. When you're in your stance, you can press a button of differing strength to cancel the stance. In some cases, because all normals are special cancelable, doing the stance cancel is faster than recovering from a normal. So, for example, light punch, heavy punch, heavy punch. Obviously, that would be the end of the combo. Then you would do a special move. However, light punch, heavy punch, heavy punch. Saria cancel, you can do another rep of light punch, heavy punch, heavy punch. So it gives her a very decent, very good combo game. She has very good mix-ups. Very good high-low overhead shit. Her movement speed is horrendous. Her movement is very bad because her jump is incredibly high without a lot of horizontal movement. But she makes up for that with her jump heavy punch, which is a full screen whip-like attack that is very easy to convert off even at max range, because if you hit it at max range and you have a fully stocked charge, you can do medium punch Saria, which is the pull, the opera, which is a full screen pause that pulls the characters to mid-screen, and continue your combo, which is very strong. Pretty much her conversions are incredibly long range and universal. It is very hard to drop combos as Squigly. She's a very good character at the end of the day. And finally, Valentine, a fan favorite, my original main, and a character that I do not play much anymore and is not very popular at tournaments. I believe Valentine is the worst character in Skullgirls. I believe if there was a B-tier character in Skullgirls, it would be Valentine. Everything she does, except for her poison, other characters do better. Mix-up-wise, she is a worse Misfortune. She is Misfortune with a command grab. That is it. Misfortune with a command grab and, worse combo game. Because she lacks the head puppet. Valentine, like, maybe better than Painwheel, but I'm not even comfortable saying all that. In my opinion, Valentine is the worst character in Skullgirls. Still very good, because it's Skullgirls, and all the characters are balanced. You'll see Valentine players at tournaments. You'll see a player for everybody at tournaments. But Valentine, for the amount, like, she's a simple character. She's easier to learn than, like, Filia. But she's not really that much better, or, like, obviously, she's not that much better than Filia. For the amount you have to learn to play Valentine, you could just play Filia and then have much better mix-ups. The best thing about her is her unique mechanic, which is the case for most characters in this game. The vials are incredibly good. She also has a level 5. Actually, okay. I believe that Valentine is a worse character overall than Painwheel, but Valentine does, I thought about it very late. Valentine does have probably the most useful level 5 in the game, other than Big Band. I mean, hold on. I'm, like, thinking about this. I think... There we go. That's how we want to do this. Actually, no, yeah. Boom. There we go. Alright. Valentine's level 5 is Forbidden Procedure Resurrection. She defibrillates the ground, and it will revive a dead teammate with 1/3 of their HP. For 5 bars of meter, it's incredibly expensive. If you hit this super, it's also a free juggle. That starts at like 6,000 damage. That is a very strong tool, because her meter build is impeccable. It's very high. As I said, with her weaknesses, she does have very good supers. And that new change where you can DHC her poison super is pretty cool. So yeah, this is what I think. For Skullgirls, obviously we're going to start at the top. I do believe Annie and Cerebella are the best characters in the game, hands down. Very strong characters. Peacock is the best zoner in the game, hands down. Fukua is an objectively better Filia. Eliza, one of the best combo characters in the game. Right up there with, like, Peacock, actually. Double is an assist monster with very strong mix-ups. Robo-Fortune is an incredibly solid zoner with incredibly strong screen control. Parasoul is much less of a zoner than these two. She still has a very good projectile because you can shoot it at multiple angles, but she is more of a mix-up character and a combo character than a zoner. Squigly is probably one of the best combo characters in this game, behind Eliza and Peacock, due to her Saria cancels. Big Band is a menace. He is hard to kill because of how much damage he does and the fact that you don't really want to trade with him. Misfortune is a strong mix-up character. The closest thing that this game has to a puppet character, because of her head. She has nearly unblockable setups, and her head has a command grab, which is cool. And finally, Filia at the end of S tier. A good character with a high skill ceiling, who gets outclassed by other characters, but is incredibly strong in her own right. A tier, the characters I don't believe are very strong, but they synergize well with other characters, or because it's Skullgirls, they're balanced, or they have one specific strength. Painwheel, or Beowulf, as I said, very good character, but he is a grappler. If you cannot land a grab, and the fact that he doesn't have a dedicated command grab other than Wolf Shoot, you can tech his grab, because his grab is his command grab, which is very bad. So, he suffers from, oh my god, he suffers from things that every other grappler in fighting games suffers from. The fact that he is a guessing character. Valentine, as I said, for the amount you have to learn to play Valentine correctly, you might as well just learn how to play like Filia or Parasoul. Much more bang for your buck, outside of, shocking people with a command grab every once in a while. And then finally, Painwheel. As I said, I believe Painwheel is a better character than Valentine, but Valentine has a better tool than Painwheel has in her kit. She is much better on teams than Painwheel is. Painwheel, as I said, sleeper top tier, but generally is not a very good character. So yeah, as with the Guilty Gear Strive video, I want to reiterate, this is my opinion. Don't get out of whack if the character you play is high or low, and you disagree with that. This is my opinion from the 800 hours and 7 tournaments I've put into this game. This tier list I'm a lot more adamant about than the Strive tier list, because I don't play for a team, but I am technically a competitive Skullgirls player. So I consider this tier list a bit more cemented than the Strive one. This is a lot more based off of observation. This is my tier list almost 1,000 hours in, Like, I've been playing this game for a while. So, with that out of the way, this is my tier list. This is what I think. Remember, I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments about what you guys think. If you like what you saw, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. This is me, Azazel the Basement Dweller, letting you know what I think about Skullgirls. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.